world's most important people live in the world's most guarded houses. Miniature armies and advanced technologies help keep these homes more secure than any other. Here are the top 10 most guarded houses on Earth. Number 10. Shadow 5, often referred to as the maximum security mansion. Shadow 5 is a $17.5 million mansion in Evergreen, Colorado. Based on the historic Biltmore State, the castle has 16,800 square feet of floor space and has 6 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, and has a lavish interior that's decorated with 126 chandeliers, huge 25-foot tall ceilings, a wine cellar, and a library with incredible views across Mount Evans. This is a place that only the mega wealthy can live, and as a result, huge attention has been paid to it, with the features for protection costing an estimated $6 million. They include regular patrols by guards and dogs, a thermal imaging suite that uses heat-sensitive cameras around the site to locate every living being within the castle, is 32 acres of land, and even a fingerprint analysis lab that can trace a print in 20 minutes. Any suspect can be identified before they even have a chance to leave. Further to this are countless security cameras that are connected to a centralized system, and this is linked to an online platform that can be monitored from a smartphone app. There's also rumors that the house has been fitted with pressure pads camera system that monitors the local highway for approaching vehicles, and a number of other secret features to ensure that no matter how much they plan, intruders are never sure what they may come up against. Number 9. The Rice House in Johns Creek, Georgia was only recently put on market for an asking price of just under $15 million. And in the listing, it became clear just how secure the new owners will feel when they're in the residence. It's not a 3-acre plot within an exclusive country club, when the structure itself covers an area of 36,000 square feet, taking 6 years to build, and it has a number of concealed entrances and exits, ballistic doors and walls, and bulletproof glass. And all of the windows. There are 8 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms, and 3 kitchens, with most of them adaptable to be able to be used as safe rooms. But owners inside really feel in danger. They can retreat to the 15,000 square foot bunker basement, which also has its very own gun range. This is also a house where a family could supposedly survive for up to 3 years without outside assistance, as it has 3 1,000-foot deep wells to provide fresh water, and a large water storage tank that used to feed the vegetables growing in the garden and for irrigating the property's land. And to this, the obligatory security monitoring suite that oversees the cameras across the side doors that could be remotely locked and unlocked, and a direct line to the local police station. Owners be reassured that they and their possessions will be completed safe. Number 8. At Arundel Park Missile Silo House, developers have been known to take virtually every type of old structure to convert into a home. But the ones that have become increasingly popular in recent years because of their security credentials are abandoned missile silos. The Adirondack Park Missile Silo House in Saranac, New York. It was one of these, as easily one of the most guarded and secure homes in the state. The building was an Atlas missile silo that was built in the 1960s, and it was once a home into a nuclear warhead that would have been launched in response to a strike by an enemy state. Of course, with such a powerful weapon inside, the silo was seriously fortified with a fence border around the 3-acre plot, steel doors, and safeguards throughout. There's also a private airfield, so you can block the entire facility off from ground access if needed. And since all of the accommodation is underground for very few points of access, all of which are closely monitored by security cameras, if you're looking for a place where you can be detached from the outside world and safe in the knowledge that only welcome visitors will ever be able to make it inside that a missile silo like this is a surefire bet. Number 7. Jonah's Soul. Jordan's Soul, which is known as the Fish Home, was built by architect Eugene Sweet in 1993, and is one of the more unusual properties you'll see in Berkeley, California. Its name, which means I have the sun, comes from the 15-foot diameter eye-shaped window that looks south from the house. The man behind the design says that he took inspiration from the hardiest of all no creatures, the tardigrade. Despite its strange appearance, there's more to this home than it seems at first. Various different materials were used in its construction, including concrete, acrylic, fiberglass, board, and plastics, and all of the walls have been built at a 4-degree angle. This gives the home far more structural integrity than normal because of a slow center of gravity. It's believed that it will be able to withstand the forces subjected on it, even the most powerful of earthquakes with a curved exterior. It's also resistant to strong weather conditions and has a number of features that mean it uses far less electricity than similarly sized homes. This all combines to provide one of the safest homes to live in the whole of California, and one that can endure virtually any natural phenomenon that takes place. Number 6. The Fieldhouse. Peter Thiel is best known for being one of the co-founders of PayPal since selling his stake and becoming extremely wealthy. He has been granted citizenship in New Zealand, where he's been building a new compound designed to protect him and his family from any danger. They may face set in 193 hectares of land in Wanaka, which is the region uses the mountain as backdrop in the Lord of the Rings movies. His complex is shaping up to be a doomsday retreat that will be completely self-sufficient, surrounded by huge perimeter walls and fitted with countless security measures, including pressure pads, heat sensors, security cameras, and a constant monitoring from a dedicated security office. News on what he's actually doing. What the site is somewhat sparse though, which is a vital extra means of precaution since no one knows what's actually on the land and which security features they'll face. It makes it virtually impossible to know how to get around them. It's an example of what mainland store for potential intruders. He's installed a state-of-the-art safe room in his home in Queenstown to this home, what he regards as his true safe facility. I have a house in Wanaka will almost certainly have far more to keep its residents safe. Number 5. Indian Creek Island. Rather than being the location of just one guard at home, Indian Creek Island in Florida is one of the most secure communities in the world. It's a village in Miami-Dade County. It was made up of 41 residences and a country club. The price is averaging around $21 million, often called the billionaire's bunker. And it's a prime example of the extra level of security a bulging bank balance can afford you. There's only one entrance to the community via bridge, which is heavily guarded by a security checkpoint, and I was planning on trying to sneak in by water. We'll be disappointed because there are regular police patrols by boat and jet ski, and there are a number of celebrities and wealthy residents. Extra steps have been taken to prevent prying eyes from spy on them. This includes anti-drone technology, floating screens that can be erected on the water within a half-hour's notice to prevent photos from being taken from offshore, and careful monitoring of people as they move around the island. Indian Creek has its very own private security detail that's dedicated to keeping it secure, and visitors to the residence of the country club have to be vetted before being allowed to set foot beyond the entry bridge. Well, it may seem over the top. It's ensured that everyone on the island can be guaranteed their privacy, but many have further enhanced the measures on their own properties too. It's thought that there are more security cameras here per square foot than virtually anywhere else in Florida, because it's home to a number of tech company owners. Some of the most advanced security systems you'll find anywhere in the world. Number 4. Vivos X Point. For a long time, doomsday preppers have been convinced that an endgame scenario is just a matter of years away. So we've been taking steps to ensure they are safe when the troubles begin. And there's now such a demand for safe houses that it's become a big business. Especially since we've been forced to face the reality of a worldwide pandemic, demand has skyrocketed. And one of the most ingenious, secure, and impressive spaces that's available to purchase for a reasonable price is called Vivos X Point. Built by the company as the world's largest survival community, it's set on a former military site in the Black Hills of South Dakota. It was originally used as a secure site to store munitions, but now has been repurposed to provide 575 bunkers, all of which are made from concrete and steel and designed to protect against virtually any attack. The real safety comes from the communal effort. However, if people are forced to flee to the facility to escape dangerous elsewhere, they'll all work together to constantly monitor the perimeter and to grow crops, to keep everyone fed. This location is an important factor to its security and safety too. It's within a 24-hour drive of almost everywhere on the mainland US, and it's more than 100 miles away from any important military target, so it's unlikely to be caught up in any crossfire. And it's at an altitude of almost 4,000 feet with just one access road. This monitored by security cameras all along, so residents will have plenty of time for a repair for anyone or anything that's approaching. Number 3. Kim and Kanaya's house. The Meals. Two of the most recognizable people in the world. It's no surprise that Kim Kardashian and Kanye West have a lavish mashup. But following a security incident in Paris, they've spent a small fortune to ensure that their family home is fully safe from all dangers. Located in the hidden hills of California, a section of the parking garage has now been refitted as a security station, which is manned 24 hours a day. It gives a view across all of the cameras on the site, and a second member of the security team is responsible for continuous patrols around the perimeter in search of anything that looks out of place. There are multiple levels of security before reaching the front door, and even those that have been invited or subjected to what one reporter described as Pentagon levels of security. The front door said to be so heavy that it looks like it could be lowered over a moat, and the family is also kept safe by an undercover security team based on site and can be called into action with just a moment's notice. After all the upgrades, it's said to be the most secure residential structure in California. But with so many threats against their family, who can blame? Number 2. Buckingham Palace is one of the most popular tourist attractions in London, and as the residence of the Queen, when she's in the capital, is a top target for people looking to cause trouble after a couple of incidents that are. I've seen people managing to break in, including one in 1982, when a man made it all the way to Her Majesty's bedroom. Significant upgrades have been installed in the past decades to ensure it will never happen again. You're probably familiar with the guards surrounding the palace, and while they're mainly there to help entertain the tourists, there are the first line of defense against intruders. As you can imagine, there are also countless security cameras throughout the building that are monitored from a central security station, which also arranges the 24-hour patrols and frequent searches of the private rooms. Undercover security agents blend in with other tourists to keep an eye on things from within the crowds, and there's a continual sniper presence on surrounding buildings to take any necessary action if someone tries to take action against anyone on the premises. And as a last year of protection, Buckingham Palace also has the largest number of safe rooms inside a single structure that you'll find anywhere in the world, each of which is surrounded by 18-inch thick steel walls and a communication system with the outside world. Number 1. The White House is the home of the president, and usually the symbolic center of world democracy. The White House, there's a prime target for people looking to strike at the heart of America, so it's no surprise at all that this is not only the most secure home, one of the best guarded buildings on the planet. Flight paths aren't allowed to fly directly over the building. There's a team of 1,300 Secret Service agents dedicated to protecting the structure and the people inside it, and all of the 147 windows have been fitted with bulletproof glass. The perimeter and wider area around the house is patrolled by the United States Park Police. Everyone that enters the building is scanned and checked in the same way as if you were passing through airport security. All protective operations are overseen from a central security, the office, and there are several safe rooms throughout that VIP can escape to if a threat does somehow manage to get inside. In the absolute worst case, the president has an emergency operations bunker beneath the White House, which at 6 stories underground is encased within concrete and steel and is designed to withstand against a direct nuclear attack. It's also an effective, safe room where the entire country can be run from without losing contact with the central executive, and there are suggestions that there may be an emergency escape tunnel to nearby safe houses, just in case the bunker itself has compromised. With pressure pads and motion detectors, and the most expertly trained security and protection staff in the US has to offer, the chances of getting this far are extremely slim. Precautions even extend to checking off mail vetting, food suppliers, and extensive background checks of everyone who works there. And satellite imagery can even be acquired with a quick phone call, which means in effect it's more like an impenetrable fortress than a house. Watch our playlist if you'd like to watch all of our most popular top 10 videos. Grab a drink, grab a snack, and get ready to binge.